Welcome to another episode of the Independent Thinkers Podcast, where this is a show we talk about local life, sports, and politics. And today in the studio, I have a wonderful, wonderful young man. You guys have seen and heard him throughout the community, speaking at a lot of different events over the years, volunteering his time for the youth. He is really an advocate for the young people within the community. It's very important. That's something that, tickled my feathers when I saw him. And he also stepped out on faith, decided to be a candidate for city council in the upcoming election in Ward 7. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my good friend, Jay Kelly. Hey, Jabaris. What's going on, man?
Hey, man. Happy that you invited me on.
Oh, man, it's a pleasure, man.
You my guy, man. So it's always
Thank you, my
good
friend.
to be in your presence. We always had good conversation.
Yes, sir.
Always. So, I remember times coming to Cool Geeks and coming to get something done, pick it up, and end up sitting there 3 hours, man, just having good dialogue, man. So I'm excited about the conversation, and thank you for having me.
Good, man. I want to say, first of all, I tell a little story before we start. You and I share a journey together.
Absolutely.
2015, we were both kind of community, advocates for the Rocky Mount Griffon football team. And I remember a good friend of ours, Fonte Lyles, who was an assistant coach, came to me and he said, "Hey, man, you got to listen to this kid speak. You'll like him. You got to listen to him." And I said, man, this kid is speaking and doing motivational. I said, I've heard all different types of motivational speakers before a game. I don't know. But I went in there one day. I can't think of what game it was. I went in there and I heard the story about the Lion King and Simba in relation to working together, brotherhood, and I was blown away, man. I was like, I like this guy, man. This guy, I like him, So tell us a little bit. That's my story, my Jay Kelly story, But we were together the entire time doing that journey. It was a wonderful journey of brotherhood. All of us, we'll never forget. So I just had to throw that tidbit in there because I'm a Griffon fan. So tell us a little bit about you, Jay. I know a lot of people in the community know about you, about your family. Tell me a little bit in a brief synopsis of your story,
Jabaris Walker, most people know me as Jay Kelly. 2008 graduate Rocky Mount High School.
Griffons.
So after high school, enrolled in the military, went to Afghanistan for a year.
Wow.
Did 5 years active, came home, joined the reserves, went to National Community College, graduated, went to Wesleyan, got my bachelor's degree.
I remember that.
And just been doing community work since I came back, done a few initiatives, Diamond in the Rough that you came to.
Yeah.
Did all with the local law enforcement, judges in the area, community activists, and the youth in the area, and we was able to get some successful things out of that.
Yeah.
And recently started, last 2.5, 3 years, been working with OIC with a program that's helped dropouts, people that's been incarcerated.
Important.
And over the last 2.5, 3 years, probably helped, I think, 282 people at the time.
Wow.
Successful rate that's got a job, got their GED, got a training. I think we had like 227.
Wow.
So just been doing some great work, proud of it. Started cleaning business. So just out grinding, just trying to make it happen. Make somebody else's life better, man. That's
work.
what I've been doing.
You do a lot of things with youth. We talked a little bit about the football journey, the journey over at OIC with young people. What motivated you to focus on that area, young people within the community?
Because growing up, other than my dad, more family members, we didn't have a lot of people really that was just reaching back to help us cross. So I knew when I came back home, especially Afghanistan, changed my outlook.
Yeah.
And what really changed my outlook one day, man, we got in a situation, and so when everything slows down, the kid comes, man, he's bloody, beat up, caught in the crossfire. And when he come, he never asked me for help, a Band-Aid to help him clean the blood up. He asked for my ink pen.
Wow.
I was like, wow, it's kind of deep, and it never left me alone. So we would go back out to the tribe every Friday. We would go out read to the kids, and I ran across him maybe like 3 months after this, and I was just like, this kind of talk to his parent. Just saying over here, they just want to go to school. They just want to learn. So I knew when I came back, I said, man, it was on my back to really let kids know that, man, school's serious, man. What we take for granted is people dying for what we take for granted.
That's amazing.
So that really just changed my outlook. And I came back home and I was like, man, I gotta just help and try to help somebody else cross and tell them about the bumpy roads, man. So
yeah, I remember those early conversations we had, you know, when you came back, you was trying to kind of feel your way a little bit, you know, and I told some people, you know, I was like, hey, he's gonna be all right. You know, like I saw some of the moves you were making. I saw the end results of some of the things that you were doing. Always great feedback on the other end. And so you decided here recently to put your name in the hat for City Council for Ward 7. It's a good thing. We need more young people in the community to crack that glass ceiling, you know, if I should say, and step out there. And because I feel as though young people have a lot to offer, a lot to learn within the growth of in the growth of the city. Their input is going to be very important. So what kind of, you know, and you, before I get to that, I want you like politics. You and I talk about Reagan. We talk about things for way back in the day because like we kind of came up together in loving politics. You know, what motivated you to get out here and say, hey, I want to make a difference. I want to make a change in the community?
One of the things was just, I knew, like I said, I always knew it would come a time where I would run.
Yeah.
But it just feels right. Purchased a home, at home, walking the neighborhood, running in the neighborhood. It was just like, you hear people concerns, people calling.
Yeah.
Can you connect me with so-and-so? So it's just like, man, you know, I connect the dots. And it's kind of like, I prayed about it and I was just like, man, it's time. I just feel like a lot of things I see, like you said, at my age, I still can get out.
Yeah.
Still get out and connect dots, make it happen, meet people, hear their concerns, and try to make Rocky Mount just better. And I just feel it's time.
Yeah. You announced early, I think it was February, March.
Yeah, it was like February 26, 27.
Yeah, that you, because we thought the election obviously was going to be in November, but, you know, things happened where it got pushed back. You announced early, but you have been grinding. Like, I've been watching you. You've been grinding since then. What have you learned so far with being out in the public, knocking on people's doors, talking to people in the community? What do you feel like is the number one concern of some of the citizens within the community?
Most people just worried about what's next.
Yeah.
What direction are we going?
Yeah.
So you're looking, so most people feel we're going backwards. So what can you do to continue to drive the car? So most people just want to know too, how can you just connect the dots? What way can you make Ward 1 through 7 all get on the same playing field? And I just think, like I said, I don't like to really keep referring back to my military background, but just connecting dots with different people so understanding people. I don't always got to be understood. Yeah. So I think when knocking doors too, I'm starting to learn how to just understand people. And I don't try to go in and sell myself. I think beauty, just sit down and listen. What's your concern? Yeah. People tell you different things. You know, some people with the crime. Yeah. Some people with, they feel some jobs left. So what can you do? Some people with tax breaks. You know, so what can you do to keep it right here? Just what ways can you just make Rocky Mount feel home again? What way can you make younger people return home to certain places? And also having some weird encounters with, not weird, but I say some good encounters with Wesleyan College. They want to be involved. You know, like, and I think I went to Wesleyan, so it was great for me, especially being an adult. It was perfect, man. I felt home. environment was perfect. Met great people.
Yeah.
Great teachers. It was just a fun experience. And I think if I was 16, you couldn't really get me to step on Wesleyan campus. It was like the best kept secret.
Yeah.
And then
It's true.
my mom went, man, and she loved it.
Yeah.
She loved it. Went and got a master's through them. She just loved it. She was like, you should go. So the military paid for me to go, and man, I had a blast. I really was like, wow, Wesleyan like the best kept secret. So
I saw a big jump, from you trying to figure out what you wanted to do, and then you decided to go to Wesleyan, and then I saw you mature like right in front of my eyes, like develop your purpose and your goals in life, and you're one of those guys that if you set your mind to do something, you're going to get it.
Absolutely.
You're going to get it, and I appreciate that about you. A current event, talk a little bit about a current event. There's one current event that's been in the news yesterday. Senate Bill 473, the local government transparency bill passed. How do you feel about that, the bill?
I have different feelings, but I feel it. I definitely feel the bill will hurt some nonprofits. I think some of it do have some good in it that can benefit. I think some points of it can hurt.
Yeah, you and I were talking offline, off the air, and we were just surprised by how it could possibly hurt some local nonprofits.
Absolutely.
But the one thing that you and I agreed upon is that if you are a public official,
absolutely,
it makes you work harder to get something passed if you have to recuse yourself.
Absolutely.
And that builds teamwork and people working together. And it's something that people in the community want to kind of see.
And I think that's what's needed. We need it. It's for the greater good also.
Yeah. Going back to Afghanistan, now, one thing, there's two things that I saw that I was growing up that affords a person kind of the ability to be able to go from place to place. That's either sports or the military.
Absolutely.
And, it's about team building, working together. Most of those guys you're in the trenches with people that don't look like you from totally different backgrounds, and everybody's working together for one common goal. What's the biggest lesson you learned from being in the military?
One thing, a story, you probably heard me tell it before. We out in Afghanistan, so my roommate at the time was a white guy. And man, I think we was maybe 5-6 months in, so it's a bond. We going out, and we would just open up a lot. Going back to the room, he's on the phone, he was married. I was 19 years old, he was 22, married with kids. I'm 19, never really left home. So we just talk, and he was like, man, he was like, Walk, I love you. I love you too. You never really knew, how people grew up. You could see signs. And he was like, man, we look nothing alike. We come from I'm from Oklahoma, you from North Carolina.
Wow, yeah.
It was like my granddad made a statement one time that we treat people that look like you like the family dog. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, wow.
It was like, but this experience have taught me a brotherhood. So we go out one day, and Sergeant Jenkins would always tell us, whatever you do, don't forget your knife in the room. So you looking like, man, when the war's on, we got a gun. We need a knife. So we always do a check, make sure you got your equipment. Sergeant Jenkins would hammer you if you didn't have your knife on you. So we go out, and man, we get hit. Platoon sergeant go down. Her legs hanging by the bone, and he's a gunner. He down. So at this time, I had been through a situation before dealing with gunshots, but at this moment I know I gotta get them back home. Yeah. So go into the truck, we pulling. We can't get them out. We can't get them out to perform CPR. So I used the knife to cut them out. The seatbelt got them tied out.
Incredible.
Perform CPR on him, man, and bring him back. And his granddad, as soon as we got back, we came back together. It's like, thank you. So every Christmas, soon they'll send me a Christmas card, his family, man. And that's, so I knew right then what my military background taught me, just get to know people for who they are before you just judge them. And I think, man, cause at one point I saw signs, but I knew I had changed this. I knew I had changed his life by that moment. Yeah. And I didn't see him for a white guy. I saw him as a brother that needed me, and I needed him. Because it would have been on my conscience if he wouldn't have made it.
Right.
You'd have felt like we lost the battle. But was able to bring him back, man. Platoon so I was able to survive. But it just changed my outlook, man. Just get to know people, try to understand people. And I think, man, just try to love on people, man. So
what when people say Jay Kells is running for city council in Ward 7, what do you feel as though you're going to bring to the table, to that body, to make a difference?
I think everybody need a point guard.
That's correct. I love it.
I think I'd be the point guard.
I love it.
The team don't run without a point guard.
That's correct.
And I think through all the city council, the mayor, city manager, I can always communicate. I never had a problem with connecting with people.
That's right.
So that's one thing I will do.
Yeah.
You know, like, what can we do to pass this? Let's try to get on the same page. So I think I'll be the point guard, the game changer.
That's what I'm talking about.
They can make it happen, bring it together.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, my mom, I would be remiss if I didn't pass the message along. My mom actually loved your mother and your aunt, who are twins, and she told me to make sure you told them, hey, what, in mentioning that, who's your biggest influence growing up, man?
Growing up, definitely my parents.
Yeah.
My grandmother's, Monka Newt,
man.
was one of my heroes.
The grandmother, man, used to cook some breakfast biscuits, man. Oh, my
with molasses.
God. Oh, my God. Oh. Okay, go ahead.
So definitely my parents. Reason why my dad, I get my work ethic from my dad.
Yeah.
Dad always worked hard. Same thing with my mom. I remember she told me, she was like 23 years old, so I had to be like 5. She's like, one day I'm gonna be an AK. One day I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna get my degree. I was like, you old. And, and I saw my mom make her dream come true at 40 years old, become an AK. She went back and got a degree.
Yeah.
She never stopped dreaming.
Yeah.
Same thing with my dad, man. Just a risk taker, man. Like, he works hard. And same thing with my grandmas, man. Whatever they face, like my grandma Ann, I remember situation one day. He was like, how you gonna overcome this? She said, by the time y'all be out of school, this situation will be changed, man. We got out of school, the situation would change. She never got rattled. She never got nervous.
Lady, man.
One of the strongest person I ever met in my life, my grandma Ann.
Community advocate.
Absolutely.
I mean, took care of a lot of kids, made sure kids ate in the community.
And fed them, man.
Oh, my God.
And whatever, man, you can really get her last. So I think that's something else, too. Just my whole family, because I knew the situation I had with Monka Newt, my grandma Ann told me at 16, she said, it's on your back.
Yeah, wow.
She said, it's on your back.
Yeah.
And I ain't never took that lightly.
Yeah. Your uncle and I, man, is, I can't, we grew up together as kids and, played sports together and, I just loved them. I remember I came home from school. My first couple of weeks of going to school, I came home. I ran into him. He said, "You okay?" Here, put this in your pocket. And for a kid that comes from a single parent household, my dad was active in my life, but it was my mom that ran the household. Man, that money came in handy,
Wow.
To go back to school with.
Yes, sir.
And he was just. One of the reasons why I decided to run for city council is because I want to know what happened to my friend.
Yes, sir.
And I'm never going to give that up.
Yes, sir.
And so you come from good genes, man,
yes, sir.
Good loins, just a wonderful group of people. Your family is doing some stuff over in the Hollis Street area.
Yes, sir.
It's important. What do you see for Rocky Mount? Like, and you and I had a conversation earlier. We was like, the next 5 years is going to be crucial.
Absolutely.
What needs to happen in the next 5 years for us to become the city that you and I know we can be?
I think one of the main things is try to get control of, make Rocky Mount more a place for youthness.
Correct.
Where more like that 7th grader is really struggling with what he want to do next. And it's now to the point now that kids even coming from a 2-parent home are in front of the newspaper at times. So what can we do to keep them engaged outside of sports? And so I think that's what the We Fit program that me and TJ run during the summer.
Tell me a little bit about that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
So We Fit, it's a 8-week program during the summer. We take all boys, dress alike every day. We look alike, and we bring in different speakers during the day. So from judges to politicians to business owners to the everyday working person, local pastors, just different people to let them know you can be anything you want to be in life. And
that's great.
And so what we do is write down, beginning of camp, what you want to accomplish in these 8 weeks. And we try to go back halfway mark and see how you progressing. See what can we do to get you on track where you can be there by week 8. And just get them outside of Rocky Mountain to do different things. Take them to the Supreme Court. Take them to the governor's mansion.
That's huge.
Take them to see football stadiums. Take them to college campuses. So programs 8 between 7 to 13. And
that's a crucial age.
Crucial age.
Now, did you guys study that particular age and felt like that is the best opportunity to reach a kid, or
Well, at first it's just me and TJ, so we didn't want to overwork ourselves. So at first, I think we was going to do 15 kids. And we were just like those ages. Man, I think before we can cut the sound off, this was during the pandemic. It got up to like 36 kids. So it was like, man, you can't tell them no. They need us like we need them. So it's just, man, like every year ends, man, you get real emotional because they grew on you. So they call you, and we try to get with them throughout the year. Like soon we're gonna try to take them to the African American Museum, take them to a Wizards game. So just doing good stuff, man, with the kids, and to see that change. Like we had one kid get cut on the basketball team. We told him this summer you got to work hard. He made it.
Good.
So,
good,
matter of fact, he's starting point guard for a local middle school team, man. So it's like a beautiful thing. He really went back and turned his tears into a smile. So it's a beautiful thing, man. We do some great work, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, and I see the result of that. I see you go places. I mean, kids, hey, J. Kelly, and that's a beautiful thing. That shows that you guys are making a impact in the community. And another trending topic is there's been a lot of talk about City Hall. You and I talked about it a little bit before the show. About the culture that's there in the city with the employees and just a different culture that's going on now. I'm not saying anything that's not in the paper and all that. What do you think I don't want to say needs to happen, but what would be something that could better that situation that you think,
I think more, you just gotta have more conversation. You definitely have to, and you gotta hear the humble cry. You gotta listen to the workers. You gotta listen to the citizens. You gotta listen to what people want, what their needs are. Because as a city council, I don't work in City Hall, but I want you to come to work comfortable. I do want you don't want nobody that's just feeling uncomfortable. That's a bad position to be in. So you definitely want people to come to work comfortable. So I guess you definitely gotta have a conversation. And you gotta definitely listen to people.
Good.
Because it's important. And people want to be heard. People don't want to just, because they also vote.
That's correct.
They vote.
That's correct.
So they are citizens and they are human.
That's correct.
So I think listen to concerns. You have to listen to concerns.
This is Rocky Mount. It's a pretty polarizing place, this side, that side, like I work to try to close the gap, a little bit. A person posed a question to me. The councilman that's currently in Ward 7 is Chris Miller. Chris Miller is a Caucasian woman. And the person asked me, well, what color is J. Kelly? And I was like, he's a black guy. And, in the look that I had to convince them that he's a good guy. Like, what does that matter what color he is, But I understand in this day and time, and people look at that. You're a black guy. You're running in a ward that some people think is majority white. How would you approach that? I mean, I know what your answer gonna be, but how would you approach that person that comes to you and says, "Hey, we've been represented by this person who's a Caucasian for this number of years. You're running. Make me feel comfortable that we're not going to have all of this stuff that we've been dealing with if I elect to go with you."
Just my body of work. And you look also, that's something else I don't want to be seen as just, he's the black candidate. I want to be seen as the right candidate. And sometimes I say like inexperience, but I looked at everybody resume, like I wasn't inexperienced when I went to Afghanistan at 18.
That's right.
So just see me for who I am. Get to know me. Have a conversation. Let me know what your concerns are. And then we have after the conversation, then you judge. But don't just say, oh, he's a black kid, or I'm going with this guy because he's this way or he's that. I think that's just wrong. And I think that's why we're in the position we are in.
That's right.
Because of situations like that. So get to know people for who they are.
That's right.
And the only way we're going to move forward by race and everything, you got to have a real dialogue and get to know people for who they are. Try to understand me.
That's right.
Don't always try to make me understand you. Try to understand me at times too, and give me a fair shot. Get to know me.
Yeah.
So just reach out. We can have a conversation, and you will get to know me for myself.
Yeah, and I think once people in that community, as they continue to get to know you, they'll see you for you lead with your heart.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's a very important thing. That's different.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, it's different to see somebody that truly believes I'm doing this because this is the right thing for people and not just for other reasons.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah.
I think that's something else too. You go back and look at Ward 7. It's totally different in 2021 than it was in 2005.
Sure is.
You're starting to have murders. You're starting to have break-ins. You're starting to have shootings happening in this area. So, it's certain points is youth also, but it's people. What can we do to get more community involvement, police involvement, and from the council or politician side of it? So one thing I want to do is do a community police advisory board where we meet quarterly.
Yeah.
I'm not only at the table, but all city council are at the table.
Yeah.
The city manager, the police chief, both sheriffs, and people from the community.
That's a great
We're coming
idea.
and just have an open dialogue about these are the concerns we're having in the community. These are the concerns we have on city council side. This are the side we have on the police side.
Yeah.
What ways you can be more watchful? What ways can we get more data out? Because everybody don't go to city council meetings. Some people just work.
Yeah, man.
So we got to find a way to get the everyday working people engaged and let them know that things are real.
I tell people all the time, it's like the right side of Rocky Mount, the left side, but then there's this huge bowl in the middle that just go about their everyday life.
Yeah.
You know, they're making money, they got a job, they're taking care of their kids, they're fine. You know, we got to get those people more involved,
Absolutely.
you know, and engaged in the process.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times that's where our ideas and creativity come from, you know. One thing I like about you and I like about TJ, you know, TJ's my guy. One thing I like about you guys is that you're boots on the ground guys.
Absolutely.
If I was telling somebody the other day, I said, I like the fact that if I feel confident that if something happens in that community from God forbid, a death of a long-term resident, crime, you know, violent crime, that guy will be right there. He'll have a scanner or something near him. As soon as he hears something, he'll be there. He's young, he's energetic, he loves to communicate with people, he cares about people when they meet him. He'll be there, you know, and I see TJ doing that now. It's the 21st century politics, man,
Absolutely.
that this city has
changing.
And it's changing.
Politics is changing.
Yeah, that the city hadn't seen before. You know. Now, one of the things I want to discuss, there's a battle. Like, a lot of people think the battle in the city is between, you know, people of color and kind of, but there's really a battle between young and old.
Absolutely.
That is the thing that is battling, the city's battling right now.
Absolutely.
You know? How would you close that gap with the old way of doing things in Rocky Mount that has kind of sort of become the norm, and the young way that young people that have been out in the community, they're more in tune with the internet. How would you close that gap of the old way and the new way of doing things here?
I think one of the main things is when you go out and have a conversation, like say, got a Ward 7 citizen, I think he's maybe like 69.
Yeah.
It's like having a conversation with you on my front porch, let me know that it's just time for me to pass the mantle.
Yeah.
He didn't look like me.
Yeah.
But what he was saying was, you are energetic. I had my time. It's time to pass the torch. And I think I listened to him. I listened to his concerns, but he also listened to mine.
Yeah.
So with your problem, the way I see it, what way can we come to a common ground to make it work?
Yeah.
And I think with some older people just want to talk to us.
Yeah.
They don't want to understand us.
Right.
They want to be quick to say, oh, these millenniums, but is it that I'm right?
Yeah.
You don't like the way I'm saying it? And you know, like a lot of people say, wait your turn.
Yeah. No.
But I use this thing, you'll never know when your doorbell's gonna ring. That's the death angel. So I'm just trying, I don't never know when these comments. So you saying wait your turn, but my time is now.
That's right, man. So go get it.
Yeah, you gotta go get it.
Go get it.
And I think that's something I won't be outworked.
Yeah.
I won't be outworked.
Good. My man Bronson Williams, who's also running for city council, he said something the other day when he was faced with that. You know, you're running against an incumbent. He said, I'm running for the seat. I'm not running against anybody. I'm running for the seat.
Absolutely.
Man, I was like, oh my God, why I didn't think of that? You know, but it's real.
Yeah.
You know, and I think people in the community need to realize, you know, these young people got something to offer to our community that we haven't seen before, and they coming for those seats.
Absolutely.
And, you know, and I want everybody in the community to give these young people a fair look, a fair shake at it. And, you know, the inexperienced part, I'm not worried about that. The experience comes from listening to people that are older than you in the community. They're going to school you.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think, brother, I pray for you every day.
I'm grateful.
I'm proud of you, man. You know, and I'm proud of you, you know, because I know your uncle would be just happy. You know, man, every time I mention the guy's name, I get, you know. But I'm proud of you, man. I think you're a shining light in the community. You're shining light. You're a leader in your family.
Yes, sir.
I sit back, I watch you. And a lot of young people don't come along like you come along,
yes,
man. I'm proud of you.
Yes, sir.
And let's go get it.
Man, I'm grateful.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our episode of the Independent Thinkers Podcast. I would like to thank my special guest, Jabaris J. Kelly Walker. Look for his name on the ballot come March 8th, City Council, Ward 7. Let's grow together. Let's make change happen. This is Terry Pittman, Anisha Pittman's big brother, signing off. Until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful time. Bye-bye.